Be me, 30-year-old male. Supply chain manager, boring but stable. Married to the woman of dreams. She is 28, brand strategist. Met her during our college years. Fell in love with her immediately. She was out of my league. Smart, beautiful, ambitious, and coldly perfect. Somehow convinced her to marry me. 3 years of marriage, felt blessed. Thought we were happy, truly happy. My world revolved around her existence. Worked hard to provide everything needed. Fixed her car, paid the bills. Cooked dinner when she worked late. Rubbed her feet after long days. Just wanted to be near her. Craved her touch, her attention, love. She was my sun, my stars. But the sun started feeling cold. Noticed the changes in her behavior. Small things at first, barely noticeable. She would pull away from hugs. Eyes glued to her phone screen. Conversations became short, transactional and dry. Asked about her day, got silence. Tried to hold her hand watching TV. She sighed, moved her hand away. Felt a sharp sting in chest. Maybe she is just stressed out. Her job is high pressure, demanding. Boutique marketing agency, very conscious branding. She makes decent money, feels superior. I am just the logistics guy. The golden retriever husband, reliable, dull. I tried harder to please her. Bought her flowers, she shrugged them off. Planned date nights, she canceled them. Said she had work with team. Friends from work, new project launch. Felt like a ghost in home. Hovering around her, begging for scraps. She called it suffocating, too much. Said my affection was emotional vampirism. Those words cut deeper than knives. Emotional vampirism. Is that my love? Just wanted to show I care. Just wanted to feel her warmth. She started consuming toxic online content. Videos about decentering men, female autonomy. Watched them openly in living room. Influencers with glasses talking about micromanagement. Saying male desire is about control. She looked at me with disgust. As if my love was oppression. Felt the distance growing like cancer. Silence in the house became heavy. Not comfortable silence, but waiting silence. Waiting for the other shoe to drop. She stopped saying I love you. Stopped kissing me goodbye in mornings. Stopped looking me in the eyes. Felt small, pathetic, weak, and unwanted. Looked in mirror, saw a stranger. Saw a man begging for love. Why does she hate me now? What did I do so wrong? Loved her too much, perhaps that. Suffocated her with my devotion, apparently. Tried to give her some space. Stayed in the garage fixing things. Hoped she would miss me, maybe. She never came to check on me. Dinner eaten in silence, eyes averted. Sound of cutlery against plates amplified. Air thick with unsaid bitter words. Slept in the same bed, miles apart. Her back turned to me, cold. Reached out to touch her shoulder. She stiffened, froze at my touch. Withdrew my hand, heart sinking fast. Staring at the ceiling in darkness. Wondering where my wife had gone. The woman I married was fading. Replaced by this cold, distant statue. Missed her laugh, her smile us. Memories of college days haunted me. She used to look at me differently. With love, or at least affection. Now only annoyance and veiled contempt. Felt the crushing weight of rejection. Every single day, a new wound. Bleeding out slowly, emotionally and mentally. Tried to talk to her, failed. She said I was being dramatic. Said I needed to find hobbies. Stopped relying on her for happiness. Maybe she was right, felt ashamed. Ashamed of needing my wife's love. Ashamed of being the golden retriever. Decided to suppress the needs down. Push the pain deep inside chest. Pretend everything is fine and normal. But the cracks were showing clearly. Could not hide the hurt anymore. Eyes red from sleepless nights, crying. She did not notice, did not care. Her focus was on herself entirely. Her career, her image, her autonomy. I was just an accessory, furniture. Useful for paying bills, fixing leaks. Useless for emotional connection or intimacy. The loneliness was a physical pain. Aching in the bones, heavy, sharp. Surrounded by people, but completely alone. Work was a distraction, not enough. Supply chain problems were easy fixes. Broken marriage was impossible to solve. Dreaded going home after work ended. Sitting in driveway, staring at wheel. Gathering courage to face the cold. To face the woman who forgot me. Walked inside, house was spotless, empty. She was there but not really. Sitting on the couch, scrolling endlessly. Mumbled a hello, Received no response. Went to the kitchen, poured water. Hands shaking slightly, nerves are shot. Something was about to break soon. Could feel the tension peaking high. Storm clouds gathering in the living room. She put down her phone slowly. Looked at me with dead eyes. "Mark, we need to talk now." Heart stopped beating for a second. This is it, the end comes. Walked over, sat on the edge. Edge of the couch, edge of life. She took a deep breath, sighed. Looked at me like a disappointment. I have been thinking a lot. About us, about me, about space. Felt the blood drain from face. Braced myself for the final blow. She did not ask for divorce. Not yet, but something strangely specific. Something she read online, no doubt. A test, a game, a rule. I want to try something new. To restore balance in our dynamic. You are too dependent on me. You chase me, it is exhausting. I need to feel my autonomy. So here is the new rule. No intimacy for the next 3 months. Stared at her, mind going blank. 3 months, 90 days, no touch. No sex, no kissing, no holding. Just roommates living in same house. She smiled, a cold, calculated smile. Think of it as a reset. A way to find yourself again. And for me to miss you. If you stop chasing, I might come back to you, maybe. It was a test of endurance. A cruel game with my heart. Felt a mix of anger, sadness. Mostly just a deep, hollow ache. Nodded slowly, unable to speak words. Agreed to her terms like fool. Would do anything to save us. Even if it meant starving myself. Starving for the love I needed. So the 3 months began then. The beginning of the long winter. Moved my pillow to the edge. She slept soundly, I stayed awake. Watching the shadows dance on walls. Thinking about the woman next to me. So close, yet oceans apart now. The first week was pure torture. Instinct was to reach for her. Had to stop myself every time. Hand hovering in air, then dropping. Clenched fists to stop the shaking. She watched me struggle with amusement. Felt like a lab rat observed. Trapped in her experiment, her maze. Tried to be the good husband. Did the chores, kept the peace. Stayed out of her personal space. Waited for a sign of thawing. Waited for her to miss me. But she seemed happier than ever. Relieved that I was backing off. She flourished in the cold distance. Laughed at her phone, not me. Hummed songs while getting ready daily. I was withering away in silence. Losing pieces of myself every day. Became a ghost in my own life. Silent, invisible, present but not there. The pain turned into a dull throb. Constant background noise to my existence. Started staying late at work intentionally. Avoided the house, avoided the pain. Found solace in spreadsheets and logistics. Numbers did not reject or hurt. Numbers made sense, wife did not. Came home when she was asleep. Ate cold dinner standing over sink. Watched her sleeping form in dark. Felt a tear roll down cheek. Wiped it away, angry at myself. No more tears for this woman. She wanted space, she got space. She wanted autonomy, she got it. Slowly, something inside began to shift. The desperation started to fade away, replaced by a cold, hard numbness. If she does not want me, why should I want her back? Woke up before the sun painted the sky. Coffee brewed black, bitter on my tongue. Silence of the house felt like a sanctuary. Used to hate the quiet, now I embrace it. She walked in, hair messy, eyes sleep heavy. Waited for my usual eager, puppy dog greeting. I nodded once, eyes back to the screen. Felt her pause, the air shifting comfortably. She poured coffee, mug clinking against the counter. Sat on the sofa, scrolling through her phone. Old habits died hard, but they were dying. She glanced over, expecting me to speak first. I typed away, lost in rows of data. Silence stretched thin, turning brittle and sharp. She shifted closer, invading my personal bubble. Put her feet in my lap, heavy weight. A test, a crumb, a calculated move. Old me would have worshipped this small touch. Would have rubbed her ankles, grateful for contact. Knew me felt nothing but a dull annoyance. Gently lifted her feet, placed them on cushion. Stood up without a word, grabbed my laptop. Got some work calls to take upstairs. Voice was even, devoid of any hidden heat. Saw the shock register on her tired face. Left her alone in the living room. Hearing her silence was better than her voice. Days blurred into a routine of cold politeness. We became roommates sharing a mortgage and bills. No fights, no yelling, just absolute zero. She started hovering, lingering in doorways watching me. The predator became the confused, wary prey. She missed the validation, not the man himself. Missed the mirror that reflected her own vanity. Friday evening arrived, the usual movie night. Wore my best suit, adjusted the silk tie. Scent of cologne filled the sterile bathroom air. She stood in the hallway, arms crossed tight. Where are you going dressed like that? Work dinner, celebrating the new logistics contract. Can I come? I need to get out. Pause, checked my watch, looked her over. Probably not a good idea, just shop talk. It is technical, you would be very bored. Threw her own favorite excuse back at her. She blinked, mouth opening but no sound came. Grabbed my keys, the metal cool in hand. Won't be late, don't wait up for me. Walked out the door, breathing fresh night air. Freedom tasted sweeter than any kiss she gave. Drove to the city, lights blurring in rain. Met the team at a loud, trendy bar. Laughter, drinks, conversations that actually mattered. Checked my phone, 3 texts from her. When will you be home? House is too quiet. Are you with anyone else? Turned the phone off, slid it into pocket. Ordered another drink, let the whiskey burn. Realized I did not miss her at all. The realization was terrifying and liberating at once. Came home late, lights were all still on. She was asleep on the couch, waiting up. TV played static, casting blue shadows on her. Looked at her face, searching for old love. Found only the memory of a stranger's face. Covered her with a blanket, purely out of duty. Went to the guest room, locked the door. Slept deeply, dreamless and without any pain. Morning came, she was making breakfast. Smell of bacon and eggs, a rare offering. Thought we could talk, she said, voice trembling. About what? I asked, pouring water, not coffee. Us, we feel distant, I miss you. Nearly laughed at the irony of her words. You wanted space, you have all of it. This is what you asked for, isn't it? She looked ready to cry, eyes welling up. I didn't mean like this, not like this. You get what you ask for, be careful. Grabbed an apple, headed for the garage door. Gym then work, see you later tonight. Did not wait for her reply or tears. Gym iron felt heavy, grounding, real and honest. Pain in muscles was better than heart pain. Pushed the weight up, exercising her ghost. Phone buzzed again, more texts, more desperation. She was realizing the supply was cut off. The emotional vampire was starving, needing a feed. I would not be her meal ever again. Weeks passed, the dynamic shifted fully, permanently. She tried harder, cooking, cleaning, dressing up. Wore the dress I used to love. I complimented her politely, like a distant aunt. You look nice, very appropriate for the weather. Saw her spirit break a little more each day. It was cruel, but survival is often cruel. She asked for a date night, pleading eyes. Let me check my schedule, I said flatly. Maybe next month, work is really piling up. Lied to her face without a single flinch. The love I held was rotting, turning toxic. Needed to cut it out before it killed me. Sat in my office, looked at bank accounts. Looked at apartment listings in the city center. Calculating the cost of freedom, down to pennies. She walked in, tears streaming down her face. Do you even love me anymore? She whispered. The question hung in the air, heavy, suffocating. Looked at her, really looked at her. Saw the fear of losing her safety net. I am doing exactly what you wanted. Why is it a problem now, tell me? Evaded the answer, let her sit in silence. She collapsed on the floor, sobbing like a child. Felt a flicker of pity, quickly extinguished. Pity was dangerous, pity was a trap. Stepped over her legs to leave the room. Walked down the hall, silence screaming loud. Closed the door to the guest bedroom. Locked it, a sound of finality clicking. Stared at the ceiling, feeling absolutely nothing. The numbness was better than the pain. Woke up early, before the sun rose. Wanted to avoid seeing her puffy eyes. Coffee black, bitter taste on my tongue. Sat at the table, silence my companion. Heard her footsteps, hesitant and soft approaches. She wore that silk robe I liked. A desperate attempt to trigger old desire. Didn't even look up from my phone. Good morning, she whispered, voice trembling slightly. Morning, I replied, eyes fixed on screen. She poured coffee, hands shaking near mug. I made pancakes, she offered, sounding hopeful. Not hungry, have an early meeting today. Pushed the chair back, scraping the floor. Saw her shoulders slump, defeat heavy there. Walked past her, scent of vanilla fading. Grabbed my keys, headed for the door. Wait, she called out, voice cracking again. Stopped but didn't turn around to look. Are we going to talk about last night? Nothing to talk about, I said coldly. I am respecting your boundaries, remember that. Left the house, morning air feeling crisp. Drove to work, radio off, mind racing. Felt like a prisoner planning a breakout. Work was a refuge, a safe harbor. Immersed myself in spreadsheets and logistics data. Anything to drown out the memory of her. Lunchtime came, phone buzzed with texts. Wall of text, paragraphs of panicked apologies. I didn't mean it, please come home. Let's start over, I was so wrong. Deleted the messages without reading them all. They were just words, empty and too late. The trust was gone, shattered beyond repair. Returned to the apartment late that evening. Lights were dim, smell of roast chicken. She was set up in the dining room. Candles lit, wine glasses polished to shine. She wore a dress from our honeymoon. A ghost of the woman I once loved. You're late, she said, trying to smile. Working late, I muttered, loosening my tie. Sit down, I made your favorite meal. Sat down, feeling like an actor performing. She poured wine, filling the glass high. To us, she proposed, raising her glass. Didn't raise mine, just stared at her. There is no us anymore, thought silently. Cut into the chicken, mechanical and slow. I missed you today, she said softly. I was busy, I replied, keeping guard. Can we stop this? She pleaded suddenly. Stop what? I asked, playing the fool. This coldness, this distance, it hurts me. You wanted space, I gave you space. I didn't want this much space, Mark. Be careful what you wish for, I said. Ate in silence, the air thick, heavy. She cried silently, tears falling into food. Continued eating, refusing to offer any comfort. Finished the meal, stood up to leave. Where are you going? She asked, panicked. Jim, need to clear my head now. Please stay, just hold me, please. Can't, rules are rules, 3 months, right? The reminder hit her like a physical blow. She flinched, face twisting in pure agony. Walked out, leaving her in candle-lit misery. Drove aimlessly, city lights blurring in rain. Parked near the old bridge, watching water. Remembered when we first met right here. We were young, stupid, and so in love. That version of us was dead now. Pulled out phone, checked the bank app. Transfer was complete, savings account now distinct. Checked the email from the leasing agent. Lease was ready for digital signature today. Hesitated for a second, thumb hovering close. Thought of her tears, her pleading eyes. Then thought of the 3 months rule. Thought of the rejection, the cold shoulder. The resentment burned hotter than the guilt. Signed the document, sealed my own fate. There was no turning back from this. Returned home, the house was dark, quiet. Assumed she had gone to bed crying. Walked to the guest room, my sanctuary. Saw a note slipped under the door. Picked it up, handwriting messy and erratic. I will fix this, I promise you. Crumbled the paper, tossed it in bin. Stripped off clothes, crawled into cold sheets. Stared into the darkness, feeling strangely light. The burden of loving her was lifting. Slept better than I had in years. Next few days were a blur of tension. She tried everything to get my attention. Left notes in my lunch, cute drawings. Sent texts with photos of us smiling. Bought tickets to a show I liked. I can't go, I said, feigning busy. But I bought them for us, she cried. Take a friend, I suggested, walking away. She stood there, tickets crumbling in hand. The cruelty was necessary, a surgical cut. Had to kill the hope to leave. Weekend arrived, the time for moving out. Waited until she went to yoga class. Had 2 hours to pack the essentials. Suitcases open, throwing clothes in with haste. Grabbed important documents, passport and some cash. Didn't take any furniture, didn't want it. Wanted a clean break, fresh start only. Heart pounded in chest, adrenaline spiking high. Heard the front door unlock downstairs suddenly. She was back early, class was canceled. Froze, suitcase halfway full on the bed. Heard her footsteps coming up the stairs. Mark, are you home? She called out. No point in hiding it anymore now. She walked into the room, stopped dead. Eyes went wide, fixing on the suitcase. Face drained of color, turning ghost white. What are you doing? She whispered, terrified. Zip the bag shut, the sound loud. I am leaving, I stated, voice steady. No, you can't. We are married, Mark. Not anymore, not in the ways that matter. She rushed forward, grabbing my arm tight. Don't do this, we can fix it. You broke it, some things stay broken. Pulled my arm away from her grip. She fell to her knees, blocking door. I will change, I will do anything. You had 3 years to treat me right. I was stupid, I was influenced, please. Move, I commanded, looking down at her. Saw the absolute terror in her eyes. The terror of a child being abandoned. Felt a pang of sorrow deep inside. But the resolve was stronger than pity. Stepped around her, dragging the heavy bag. She grabbed my ankle, sobbing into floor. Don't leave me alone, I love you. You love the control, not the man. Kicked my leg free, gently but firm. Walked down the stairs, heavy steps echoing. She screamed my name, a primal sound. It chilled my blood but didn't stop me. Opened the front door, sunlight flooding in. The world outside looked bright and new. Put the bag in the trunk, slammed it. Got into the driver's seat, hands shaking. Looked at the house one last time. Saw her silhouette in the bedroom window. Hand pressed against glass, watching me go. Put the car in drive, didn't wave. Drove away, leaving my old life behind. Tears finally fell, hot and silent tracks. Mourned the boy who loved her once. He was gone too, just like her. Turned onto the highway, speed picking up. The road ahead was long and empty. Highway lights blurred into orange streaks. Distance grew between me and her. Phone buzzed violently on passenger seat. Screen flashed her name, pleading attention. Ignored the vibration, eyes on road. Silence was the only answer needed. Grabbed the device with shaking hand. Rolled down the window, wind roaring. Tossed it into the rushing darkness. Severed the last digital umbilical cord. Silence returned, heavier but finally mine. Drove until the fuel light burned. Pulled into a grimy roadside motel. Neon sign flickered, buzzing and dying. Paid cash to a sleepy clerk. Key turned in the rusted lock. Room smelled of stale smoke, bleach. Threw the heavy bag on bed. Collapsed on the scratchy, thin sheets. Adrenaline faded, leaving a hollow ache. Staring at the water-stained ceiling. Mind drifted back to the beginning. 17 years old, awkward and invisible. Standing in the crowded high school hallway. She walked by, radiant and laughing. Clutching books to my chest, terrified. Social anxiety was a heavy cloak. Never dared to speak to her. She was the sun, I was shadow. First love is a cruel obsession. Watched her from a safe distance. Memorized her schedule, her favorite colors. Pathetic crushing weight of unspoken affection. She dropped a pen one afternoon. Scrambled to pick it up, trembling. Our hands brushed, electric shock felt. She smiled, murmured a soft thanks. Didn't sleep for 3 nights straight. Convinced myself it was true destiny. Pure love projected onto a stranger. Worshipped an image, not the person. Years passed, paths crossed in college. She remembered the pen or lied. Awkwardness hadn't faded, just morphed. Stuttered through our first real date. She laughed, called it charming then. Didn't see the calculation in eyes. Blinded by the glory of acceptance. Gave her everything, holding nothing back. Built a pedestal, reaching the clouds. She climbed up, looked down, sneered. Memory shattered, returning to the motel. The ceiling stain looked like tears. That awkward boy was dead now. Murdered by 3 years of marriage. Tears dried up, leaving dry heaves. Stomach knotted with hunger and grief. Forced myself to stand, wash face. Mirror showed a stranger staring back. Eyes hollow, jaw set in stone. No longer the simp who waited. Washed the road dust from skin. Water ran gray into the drain. Stripped off the wedding clothes finally. Tossed the ring into the trash. Metal clinked against the plastic bin. Sound was small but felt massive. Lay back down, darkness closing in. First night of the rest of life. No screaming, no demand, just peace. Sleep came fast, black and dreamless. Morning sun hit the dusty window. Woke up without the usual dread. Chest felt lighter, breathing was easier. Packed the bag, moved with purpose. Checked out, leaving no forwarding address. Car engine started with a roar. Pulled back onto the open highway. Map on the dash, destination unknown. The world was vast and indifferent. Perfect for a man starting over. Saw a diner, stomach finally growled. Parked between 2 massive semi-trucks. Walked inside, bell chimed entry. Smell of bacon and old coffee. Sat at the counter alone. Waitress poured coffee, didn't ask questions. Just black, keep it coming please. First meal in freedom tasted divine. Watched families eating in the booths. Felt a pang of phantom loss. Pushed it down with bitter coffee. Loneliness is the price of freedom. Willing to pay it every day. Check the map while chewing toast. Heading west towards the mountains. Need high ground and thin air. Need to freeze the heart solid. Paid the bill, left a tip. Waitress smiled, a genuine human interaction. Felt strange to be treated kindly. Walked out to the parking lot. Sun was higher, burning the fog. Got back in the car, ready. No looking back at the house. The past is a rearview mirror. Objects in it are smaller now. Put the car in gear, accelerate. Blending into the flow of traffic. Just another face on the road. Anonymous, broken but finally free.